Let's talk about how to create a interactive scrollable carousel indicators component with Replo. So in this test store, I've already set up a product container, which has my product, which I've set to our placeholder product for now. And I've already set up a product images carousel. So when I click through these, you can see all the product images. The problem is I want this carousel to be, these carousel indicators to be a little bit more interactive. I want them to actually show the product image, and I want them to have a pretty big image, and I want them to scroll along as the user clicks through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and I'm going to select carousel slides, and I'm going to copy and paste that slides component. And so now I have two copies of the carousel slides component. But what I'm going to do is go here, I'm going to check use a custom configuration so that this slides component can behave a little bit differently than the other one. And then I'm going to go to auto width here. And I'm going to make each of these images, so these images are repeated once for every single product image. I'm going to go ahead and make them 100 pixels by 100 pixels. And now because I set these each to auto width, you can see that if I go into preview and we go to the different carousel items, this new indicators component scrolls along with the carousel items in the same way. Now let's go back to edit mode and let's add a state to this image. So I'm going to add a state called active item. And I'm going to show the state if the current item of the carousel is active. And in this active state, what I'm going to do is go down here, go to border, and I'm going to give this a 2-pixel border, which I'm fine with defaulting to black. And let's go here. Let's add just a little bit of padding. This looks nice. And now we can see that as we go through the carousel items, the new item scrolls into view, and at the same time, it gets outlined in black. So that's what we want. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this indicators entirely, and then I'm just going to add in the carousel next and previous buttons. Go add in a carousel next component right here, and I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Let's make it 20 by 20, for example, and then I'll do the same thing with the previous. Right there, and same thing here. Let's do 20 pixels by 20 pixels. And now I have my very custom setup here so that when the arrows are clicked, it goes to the next item and it highlights in the indicators at the bottom. The last thing I'll do is I'll go to these carousel slides, I'll go to config, then I'm going to set the active area to the center. And what that will mean is that now when I go here, the carousel of the images will only scroll so that the center is active. So you can see that as I click through each image, it goes into the center and that becomes active. And at the end, there's no more images to scroll into the center, so it scrolls to the last image. So hopefully that makes sense. This is how to set up a carousel with a more interactive indicators component.